Everybody, welcome back to Organically Blunt. I am Jay Blaze, your host, and this evening I have the pleasure and opportunity to speak with Nico from True Soil Living Soil, all the way from Austria. Welcome to the Organically Blunt podcast.
Hello, I'm glad to be here. Good evening.
Definitely. So, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about how you got into organic cultivation?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Look, I'm a grower since early age. I tried many different fertilizers from Playground to Canna to Biobis, Bionova, a lot of mineral fertilizers, some organic fertilizers. And then I wanted to start my own CBD production with a friend, but um, I got an offer to work for another startup as a grower, and I preferred that to start my own company. And there, a colleague was extremely passionate about growing organic and introduced me to living soil, and that's a bit how I started with organics and living soil.
Wow, that is amazing. So, how did your journey with living soil begin? I mean, what inspired you to go fully organic? Were you always organic, or did you try some non-organic ways before going down the organic way?
Yeah, I tried a lot of different mineral fertilizers. And maybe there are some different brands from in Europe than they are in US, but I tried many different mineral fertilizers, and uh, it, it worked well. But then I started working at the company, and this colleague of mine, he introduced me to the Kiss Organics podcast. And Ted Hussey from Kiss is a role model. It became a role model for me and then inspired me to dig deeper into living soil. So I started listening to this podcast, and I was amazed at the possibilities and advantages. And I started to learn more about living soil and read a lot of books about growing organic, and that's how I started to go into that topic.
Definitely. So, True Soil, did you feel like there was a void you needed to fill, and you developed True Soil to fill that organic need in your country?
Yes, as when I started growing with living soil, it was like already quite a lot of years ago, and I started. I knew the ingredients, the amendments that were needed to make a good living soil mix, and then I started researching where could I buy them as a private grower, and there were no real possibilities to do that. I needed about 10 different shops to get all things I needed, and that's when I saw it would be a good possibility to just start TrueSol to offer people the possibility to buy everything at one shop, and to do that with a very high quality and a fair price, because one shop I think was already available and the prices were sky high, and it was not fair at all. And so that's when I thought, yeah, that would be a good idea. Yeah, because
Definitely.
yeah.
So, has there been a lot of differences between North American soil and your guys' soil? And what are some of them differences you've noticed?
So I think it's the cannabis community and the cannabis industry is very early stage in Europe. So you can't really compare it to the US, because in a lot of countries it's still illegal to grow cannabis with THC, and um, most growers, they just grow mineral fertilizers, and they don't even know about living soil. And for me, a big difference was just to source all the ingredients, and to make that happen. It was quite complicated, but now we're really good set up, and we can offer many different ingredients to our customers. and yeah, it works really great.
Definitely, definitely. So, can you walk us through like what is in your guys' soil without giving the whole recipe away, but as a gist, can you kind of tell us what we're looking at when we open a bag of your soil, what we can expect?
Yeah, yeah, of course. So the recipe I started growing with living science. I started with with a recipe derived from Kids Organics, but then I developed it further. And so the base mix is our living soil base mix. To start, the living soil is heavy with calamac, containing minerals like dolomite lime, algal lime, and also oyster shell. And andesite rock flour is about 30% of the mix. And then NPK fertilizers like alfalfa meal and neem cake and insect frass or and also karancha cake. And there are also some organic fertilizers produced out of food waste. They are about 40% of the mix. And then there are some additional pea containing ingredients like bone meal pellets. Excuse me. Bone meal pellets, also a bit of seabird guano and soft rock phosphate. And for additional K, we use a component. It's dried vinasse. Vinasse is some kind of molasses, which is very high in potassium and sulfate. And we also use potassium sulfate and sheep wool pellets, which are very high in nitrogen and potassium, and also a long time fertilizer. And then there's also some carb to round off the recipe.
Wow. There is some differences. I can see just from you naming off some things that I haven't seen that makes you guys definitely unique, you know? And that's awesome, you know, that the culture has similarities, but it also has differences. And it shows that, you know, you guys are passionate as well about what you guys do over there. Now, do you use cover crops?
Yes, I myself I prefer to use cover crops. They have so many advantages, but I know that a lot of people also disagree with that. And but still, for the people that want to use cover crops, we have one blend, or it's not a blend. It's one strain of white clover. It's a special strain that grows short and very dense. So it helps to keep the surface moist and um, also to improve the aeration of the soil. Yeah.
Definitely. So, as an organic grower, what do you guys use over there for an IPM or to prevent pests?
So for to prevent pathogens like different kinds of fungi, it's best prevention is a clean working environment. So it's always important that your grow stays clean, that your environment stays clean, and you use tools that are always clean, and healthy plants and microbial in alkalines are also very good to prevent different kind of those pathogens. And for pests, we use, and I also recommend to my customers to use beneficials like natural predators, and to use them from the start and through the whole growth, so that when one pest comes like a spider mite, it just gets eaten by something else in the beginning.
Absolutely, yes. You know, I believe in beneficial bugs and them all working together and creating a healthy ecosystem where everything kind of works together to make the whole picture come together. And that's beautiful. So, do you guys use compost teas over there?
Yeah, we use composties. It's also a very good addition to increase the microbial life and also to give the plants a boost of ready available nutrients. But with our mix, it's not compulsory. So you can use it to give an additional boost, but it's not needed for people who want to keep it simple.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Definitely. Definitely. So, what do you feel you source locally? Is there any inputs that are local to Austria that you guys use that might make it unique? Where, um, if we wanted to get that type of amendment, we could order it from you and it would be something that was made in Austria?
So what we do source locally is vermicompost. We source it from a local farm, and it's very high quality vermicompost. But all the like most soil amendments we source from European Union, and some of course like neem cake, aranja cake, and also soft rock phosphate we source from abroad. But we try to source everything locally and in the European Union, so it's more sustainable and we don't have the shipping impact. Yeah, so we try to do it as locally as possible.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. Definitely. And, you know, how do you maintain your soil? Does it break down quite fast or can it be used a couple cycles before you have to top dress some amendments?
So we offer different products for our customers. We offer a mix of a fertilizer mix that the customers can blend themselves with the soil. But we also offer ready to use soil, so living soil that is already pre-mixed and contains everything that is needed. And with our premium, we call it premium cannabis living soil mix. And with that mix, you can use it for up to 2 cycles without re-amending it. But what we recommend is to re-amend after each run, after each harvest, just to keep the nutritional content at maximum level and to get very high yields. And with living soil, most people know that the soil gets better over time. So that's a very big difference to using mineral fertilizers, because after using mineral soil with mineral fertilizers, you mostly throw it away. And with living soil, you get the living soil gets better and better after each run. And um, if you keep amending it, it's just getting more healthy. Yeah.
Absolutely. Do you guys have events over there or any cups or anything like for growing or is that not very popular over there?
It's starting now because Germany legalized about 1 year ago, legalized cannabis for home growers. You can grow up to 3 plants at home, and now cups are coming, and it's becoming a thing. But there have not been yet any, but I know that they are coming now. Yeah, so it's becoming a thing.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Do you see yourself competing in any?
Yes, of course, because if you grow with living soil in general, you get very high quality flour, and uh, we also now have some competitors. But what we set ourselves apart is that with our mix, the quality is very high of the flour, but you can also yield a lot. So we have customers who are yielding up to 1,000 grams per square meter. That is a bit more than 90 grams a square feet, and it's very high. So yeah, we definitely see ourselves competing. I think it would be a good thing for us.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that'll be great for you guys, And Germany has been doing some amazing things and they are about quality. So I see them coming with quality when it comes to events and cleanliness and being very well organized. So I feel you guys are going to have a great opportunity in that market. I was looking at some pictures of your soil and it's absolutely beautiful.
Yes, it's a blessing for us because many countries in Europe they are not legalized yet, but I think some will legalize soon. And Germany is like the biggest economy in Europe. Legalizing it was for our business very big boost, and we are very grateful for that. Yeah.
Definitely. As an organic grower, when you first started out, remember back, do you remember one of the biggest mistakes that you made and how you overcame it?
So as an organic grower, so I started or I also tried some organic liquids, and that was not going as well as I thought because before I was growing with mineral fertilizer and I always had good yields and good quality, and then I tried one two different organic liquid brands, and that wasn't working out very well. And then I switched to what then I switched to living soil, like mixing my own soil with different amendments. Uh, that was much better already in the beginning. So yeah, for me, a bit of fail was just to use this organic liquids, and it was a bit of a between step between mineral fertilizer and just going fully organic with living soil.
Definitely, definitely. So you had to do a lot of trials to get your recipe perfected. So you've grown probably a lot of different strains and different terpene profiles. What have been some of your favorites?
Yes, definitely. There are so many great strains nowadays, and many more are coming. But most of the things, the trails, I did with CBD and CBG strains, and I have one very good CBG strain, which also tests very low in THC. What made it and that made it possible for me to test it in a big scale, because in Austria it's not that easy to do. And to stay in the legal frame, I needed to have a strain that does not contain so much THC. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm familiar with the CBD and cheese, and that's an excellent strain. It really is, especially for medical use. It treats pain very well. And I've used it myself before I fell in love with THC. I love THC. So I'm lucky I'm allowed to have it here, but not everybody can, definitely. And it makes things difficult.
Yeah, it makes things very difficult, and I know a lot of patients in Austria. They will also be very grateful if things get legalized here. Um, yeah, but I'm looking forward. I think maybe in the next few years things will happen, and yeah.
What is your opinion on that currently? I mean, I wouldn't mind hearing what you think and where you think it should go and where you think it's going.
So what I think is Germany did a great step to just allow home growers to have a few plants, because most people don't need like 100 plants. It's three are enough. You can also make very high yields with three plants, and also to just go and if it's possible to go in a social club and to buy your weed there, and also connect with people to build a community. I think it's a very good approach. And in Austria, the situation is very dire, because you are not allowed to grow yourself. You can also not buy it. The good thing is that it's not that restricted. So if you grow yourself and you get caught, nothing so much will happen. So it's not that bad, but it's still illegal, and you're gonna have to pay a fine. And if you grow in a big style, like a few dozens or 100 plants, maybe you're also gonna look into a prison sentence. So
Ooh.
and then Austria is very conservative. So right now I think there is no way that a legalization is coming, but I think maybe in the next few years they will realize that it's just better for everybody if it's legal. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it needs to be forgiven globally. That's the way I put it, It is a
Exactly.
plant. It is a plant and it was here before most of us, so we might as well respect that.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely agree with you. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I know it's very early over there, so I'm not going to keep you too long here. But, you know, what can you tell us? Any advice for new growers using living soil before?
Yeah, so for everybody that wants to switch from mineral fertilizers to living soil, I would say just start simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Start with a simple mix. Also, try to connect with people who already know. If you don't know anybody in your personal circle, then just go on Instagram. People always like to help. Also, there are some great growers on Instagram. You can just look how they do it, listen to podcasts. I recommend to all my customers to listen to the Kiss Organics podcast because they're so scientific and you learn a lot about it. And what I would also recommend, if you want to start growing with living soil, use big containers. Don't start in small pots. Use beds or use big pots, and then also add compost worms because compost worms, they are the biggest benefit, that the biggest boost for your plants and for your microbial life, and they will make everything so much better. And it's just great for the plants. They love it, and they also help you to recycle the soil. So that's what I would recommend for everybody who wants to try living soil.
Absolutely. So I have two more questions for you, and then we're gonna get you off so you can get some sleep.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
that is, the question that makes this show organically blunt, you know, is this. But before I ask it, I got to ask one question. Have you met or talked with Ted Hussey yet?
No, no, not yet. No, not yet. I just know him from the podcast.
He is a friend of mine. I've had him on the podcast a couple
Oh,
times.
very cool, very
So
cool.
I'm going to let him know that I talked with you and that he should check you out. So maybe you guys can do something in the future. You never
Yeah,
know.
that would be great if you can connect us. I'm a big fan. Yeah.
Absolutely. So with that being said, here is my question. And there's one rule. The rule is you can't think too hard. You have to blurt
Okay.
out what you say. So here we go. If you could smoke with anybody dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Oh, I think maybe it will be Snoop Dogg because I was growing up with his music, and he's such a cool guy, and he seems very cool. And like for me, growing up, he was like just this smoker that just always was smoking and was still rocking what he was doing. And yeah, I think that would be a very cool session.
Absolutely. That's mine too, because, you
Oh,
know,
cool, yeah.
yeah, yeah, like, oh yeah, definitely. That would be a dream. So, with that being said, though, we want to let you go on a good note, and we want to know, where can people connect with you? Where can they find your soil? And if they have any more questions, how can they get a hold of you?
So we are on Instagram. You can also just check it out. Follow us. It's called True Soil. And we also have a blog on our website. Website is called truesoil.at. And if you want to connect with me or my team, just write us a message. We are always available.
Definitely, definitely. And it was an absolute pleasure having you on. I am very impressed by your English. No disrespect, but you do it very well. And
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I tried my best.
definitely. So, with that being said, you have a great evening, and we look forward to talking to you in the near future. Thank you.
You too. All the best. Have a
Have
good
a,
have a good evening.
you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we keep it tight, growing with the best, keeping it right. Hey! Shout out to the partners helping us grow from the soil to the light. Yeah, you already know. Grow back bags, keep it fresh, just put it in the bag. Seeds, man, got the seeds, never running a lag. No community without you and I. Drop a like, hit subscribe, let's vibe real high. Light LED, make the garden shine. Grassroots beds, keep the roots in line. Humboldt got the terps, fast buds coming fast. Atlas seeds outdoor, built to last. Stay organically blunt, keep the vibes real. One love, one plant, yeah, you know the deal.